What is up, everyone? So, I got invited to Infinity Ward with a bunch of other YouTubers to see a bunch of Modern Warfare replay, and it was obviously really tough, like not saying anything about anything we saw or did over there. But now that the release trailer is out, I can talk about single player stuff and the features in the game and stuff like that. And so what I want to do is do like a kind of like, we're going to go through the trailer bit by bit, and I'll tell you what I know. So let's start with the first bit. So I will say I didn't
changed.
Of course.
There's a fine line between right and wrong. And somewhere
that is Price.
Shadows,
Price is back. So the first thing.
Us in to find it.
Let's let the scene play.
126 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
All right, there you go. So we see Price. Price is back. So Modern Warfare is not a continuation of Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. This is campaign stuff. Modern Warfare is basically like a reimagining or like an updating of the series. So anything that happened in the original Modern Warfare series is not like canon for this. It's like a reboot. But the characters are back. And yes, Price 100% back. What I don't know, what I suspect, is that Ghost is back. So this is its own kind of new thing redone. So is Soap in this? Not that I saw. Is Ghost in this? I bet he is, but it was not shown to us. So is it a different voice actor for Price? I'm not sure. That you might have to figure out on your own. But 100%, Price is back. And as you saw with the night vision goggles are actually like useful in Modern Warfare. In Modern Warfare 1 was just kind of like and they admitted it too, like the original Call of Duty 4, night vision goggles were kind of just like trash. It was almost like just a dumb filter. Like there was no point. There was like no real scenarios where that was actually useful. But in Modern Warfare, the goggles are meant to be, night vision's actually meant to be useful in some cases. And so there are points where we're going to see you can actually like shoot lights out and then put on the goggles and go in and have that useful. Or if there are points in this map where like, it's very bright and you have the goggles on, obviously that's going to have an impact. So, all right, so let's continue.
Start clear!
Breaching. Rolling in the squad. UK.
Weapons are now in the wild.
So let's stop there for a second. So what you saw a lot of so far has been a lot of like heavily geared up like operators, right? In the UK, they had just experienced like a terrorist attack, so they're dealing with that in that historical square. I forgot what it's called. Sorry. And there's also, you saw a guy with a sledgehammer breaching. So one mission they showed us was basically you and your squad had got a tip on basically a house that was being used by terrorists. Yeah, Trafalgar Square. Yes, thank you. I probably pronounced that wrong, but that's where like an explosion happens. So anyway, you go in there in a squad and you're going through like these very close quarters. Doors are exactly the size the door should be. There aren't any oversized doors to prevent some weird stuff like in older games. You're going through the doors with your squad. And what's really cool is that like you're going through and there are innocent people and there are actual terrorists in here. So like you're going through this house and you have the terrorists that are building bombs and whatever, and you're going through with like the rest of your unit, and if you like bust into a room and there's like a mom with a baby, if you freak out, you could potentially shoot the mom, and as of the version we saw, the mission would not end. It would just, you'd hear some voice, something like that. Maybe a terrorist would go like, "Why'd you shoot her?" Or, something like that or whatever. Or so, as for whether you could shoot the baby or not, I think, I'm not sure. I think that's something they're like debating still. I forgot what the exact status was, but that was like I don't know. So we'll see what they do with that. let's see what they do with that. But for the version they showed us like it's kind of insane. It's really intense, and so you can like breach in, and you have to make calls on whether like you shoot someone or not, and you're shooting out lights, and you're putting on your night vision, and even cooler, it didn't show in this trailer. Enemies and probably players can like hide on top of objects, like and below objects. So there's one point during a mission we play where one of the enemies, you go into a room and the enemy's actually hiding under the bed. And so they're gonna be able to kind of like sit on top of tables, like the crazy stuff that you remember doing in like CS:GO or whatever, or like the crazy spots you kind of camp in. Like it's gonna be possible for enemies to like really take advantage of like their surroundings and like like be in a closet, I think, be under a bed, be on top of like a cabinet or something like that. So there's gonna be like a lot of flexibility in how they use the environment. So that's gonna be really cool. But anyway, let's continue on for a second. So that was like the aspect of the game where you have the high level operators. And let's continue.
Get to safety, go!
Now, let's talk about this part. I have to admit something. There was a mission that made me tear up. I know I wasn't the only one in the room that was doing it. I literally teared up. I saw like emotion from so many people, even people who like on the staff who had seen that part before. They've seen this. They were like clearly like uncomfortable. And the way the directors explained the game was they weren't going for like shock factor where like every mission would just be like no Russian where they're just shooting innocents all the time. That's not what they were going for. What they were going for was just like you play the game and you're experiencing the story, and then they're just moments that hit. And they hit you hard. And this one I can think I'd share. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'd say stop watching the video or fast forward until I'm done with this screen. But so you play from two point of views in this game. Not necessarily just two characters, but two views. You have the view of like the tier 1 operators, or basically the heavily geared, heavily trained. You got all the best like gear and gadgets, and you're taking down terrorists, and you're going through that story. The other side of the story, you play as freedom fighters in this Middle Eastern country. What's weird is that like Middle Eastern country is like a fake made up country, but like you're also playing like in like Britain. So I don't know. It sounded like they just wanted to like there was like a line they didn't want to cross and be careful about it, and that's fine. So anyway, you play in a mission, at least like an origin mission, like as one of the freedom fighters who plays in the game, and it's like you're like this young kid, and what's happening is like, again, spoilers, like Russians. The mission starts off with you under rocks, like you are buried alive under these rocks, and you look to your right. And you see a face not moving, motionless. It's a woman. It's your fucking mom, and she's dead right next to you. You grab a rock. You have to go grab a rock, and you're banging the rock against the metal that you're trapped under. And then finally, people notice, the people they hear, they notice, like you hear rescuers like, over here, there's someone still alive. And then you hear them, they try and take away some rocks, like, grab the saw. And they grab the saw, and you just see like the sparks fly as they try and cut you out. And they lift it. And then someone just pushes someone out of the way and just pulls you and hugs you. It's your dad. And then you like, you're just like mom. And then the dad looks over. And then there's just a moment where he's just like, fuck. And he's sad, but he knows. He's like, where's your brother? He prioritizes like the family first. He's like, where's your brother? And you're like, I don't know. Obviously, you're like stuck under like rubble. So you're going around, you find your little brother, which is this kid. And like the attack's not over. There are like these Russian troops that are like that threw like poisonous gas and you're running through the town, and you and your dad like are able to like grab like gas mask, and he puts the gas mask on you instead of himself. And so like you're running through the town, and there are people around you, like your fellow villagers, who are gasping for air, who need help, and you can't help them because you don't have another gas mask. So anyway, as I was saying, as you're all running through the town and people are dying around you, there's gas, you're also trying to avoid the Russian soldiers who are invading the town, and they're all equipped with gas masks. And so it's the father and you go to your home, and inside, yeah, that's when they find this guy, like your brother. Your brother's there. He's like, what's going on? Like, where is, like, like, what's going on? Like, where's mom? And then the dad just has to go, mom's not coming. And so you're in the house and you're figuring out, like, if you're just going to hide inside, you lock the door. And then you start to hear someone breaking in. And that's when everyone just kind of like, hides, and there's this struggle. It's basically this built-up Russian guy who comes in, and your father is telling you to go hide. And the Russian guy is this huge guy with a gun, and your dad doesn't have like jack. And so the dad's trying to protect the kids, trying to protect you. And against a gigantically muscular, like Arnold Schwarzenegger size, like Martian dude, he gets shot up and he's bleeding to death in the corner. And then it turns into like a game where like this guy is looking for you and your brother in this house. And so the mission, it gets a little bit crazy here, where like it's your mission is to like kill, like you're like 6 years old or whatever, you're 8 years old, and your job is to try and kill this Russian built soldier guy. And so he's going around looking for people. He's like knocking over like, tables and whatnot. And on the table, like to the floor, drops like a screwdriver. So like you're trying to stay hidden. You're playing like this deadly game of hide and seek. And you grab the screwdriver and you try and get behind him. And then you stab him in the side. And then you run away. And this guy obviously gets angry. He's like cursing, and he throws the freaking like, screwdriver away, and he's looking for you. And you're going inside under the bed, under the vent. It's your home. You've played games in this house all your life, right? So you know how to get around. This guy doesn't. So at least you have an advantage of like where you live. And so then you like, you somehow you attack him with another like household item, like scissors or another screwdriver or something. I forget what it was. And then as this Russian guy like actually finally catches you, behind you, your brother jumps up on top of him, and then you come in with the finishing blow. Pretty crazy scene. And then after that, time's running out. You walk up to your dad. He says a few words to just run, to be safe or whatever. And then it's just up to you. Do you stay or you go? And you just go. And then after that, it's like you and your brother on your own. You continue the mission, and anyway, some wild stuff, but it's crazy. Quick time events. Like you press the button to kind of like initiate the stab. It's not like you can sit there just keep on like swinging it like a sword or whatever. It's like you grab the item, you go in and you do it. They might still change that. That was all like alpha gameplay. I cannot talk about any multiplayer whatsoever. Anything you've heard from multiplayer from someone else, that's on them. I can't. I'm very big on respecting embargoes and rules and all that jazz. So anything regarding multiplayer, I cannot talk about at all. Anyway, so that was that. I thought so the writers of Call of Duty Modern Warfare are the same guys they brought on from Naughty Dog. So the guys who made The Last of Us. I had really high expectations for Infinite Warfare and their story, because they had the Naughty Dog writers then. I don't think Infinite Warfare story was that great. I didn't like it, and I thought the ending sucked. No offense if they're watching this, but with Modern Warfare, they freaking nailed it. I got something else to talk about. Let's watch a little bit more footage, and I'll talk about it there. So there's a lot more technical stuff they shared too. Yeah, that's the kid. So the idea is that kid and his sister, like, become like freedom fighters, and I suspect you play as them in the game. I haven't seen that yet though.
We get dirty, and the world stays clean. That's the mission.
Okay, let me share a few other things. So that was it from the footage. But have you ever seen like in games where like the voice actor just the voice doesn't really match the character talking? So in this game, they went a little bit different with that. What they did was before like designing the characters, they found the voice actor, they found the voice, and they based the look of the character based on the voice actor. So like basically everyone in the game who's like talking, like that's them in real life. So they didn't start with the character and then find the voice for the character. They found the character, the voice actor, and then put it like, put them in the game. So that's great. So everyone, I don't know if they can do a Price. Like, did they find something that looks like Price? I don't know. I don't know. But for most of the characters, they did that. So that's one. Number two, if you notice the graphics, this is like all like in-game footage from what they told us. So if you go back over here, hang on, let me look for like an especially detailed scene. Hang on, let me find something that's like in a town. Hang on. I don't know if there's a good example here somewhere. Just like a street. All right, here they're busting into a house or whatever. But what's also cool is in the past, like if they're trying to make like photorealistic, very realistic stuff, what they're doing is they're like, if it's like a broken wall, they're like, the example they gave was like, a designer might take a brick and like a brick, object in the game and try to like place it randomly, whatever. In Modern Warfare, what they spent the last couple of years doing was they basically got these crazy camera rigs and they'd bring it to an object and they'd basically do like, one of those 360 like scans. Like they did this for like a tank. They did this for like rocks. They did this for like, props on the street, for like, bicycles, for whatever. And then they take that and they take that photorealistic scan object or that thing in real life and they put it in the game. So they not actually blew up a wall, or maybe they did. I don't know, but like basically, they had a team that really like that went around like the world or wherever and looked for cool stuff, and they just scanned it in instead of just trying to build it. So and it really showed. Hopefully they reveal more footage soon. But when they were showing like the houses and the streets and how stuff was broken down, like it looks like incredible. And the footage they showed it to us on was a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I thought it was like a PC version, and it looked like fantastic. So that's really going to show when they show like the photorealistic stuff. And beyond that, the photorealistic stuff and the voice actors, they put a lot of work into. Oh yeah, another cool thing, more gameplay wise, is you can now reload while you're looking down your ADS. So while your ADS says like sniper or whatever, you can still reload your gun, which was really cool. I don't know anything about exclusivity between PlayStation 4 and Xbox and all that jazz. I don't have any information on that. And like I said, anything multiplayer regarding crossplay or whatever like that. If I do know something, I'm not allowed to tell you. No, there are things I can't tell you guys. If you go look at the other Twitter accounts, whatever, someone else may be like, maybe they broke embargo, but I can't. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Also, the audio. The animations are insane for the guns, of course, as you'd expect. And so all the detail of how like it's loaded up and how it kind of like reflects in the light and stuff like that. Like the gun is like really a focus in the game and how it behaves in the environment. And even beyond that, they do some crazy audio. Like when you fire a gun and like the shell pops out and like it falls to your right, that emits a sound. Everything produces a sound. And further than that, that sound bounces off walls. So you hear the reverb of how the sounds all bounce around based on where you are. So if you do it like in an alleyway versus like out in like, Trafalgar Square or in a house or whatever, like the sounds are all like really realistically bounce around. And it really like makes a big difference like experience wise. So pretty nuts. Now, if you give me a second, I gotta go into my email. I made myself a bunch of other notes I thought to share with you guys. So give me a moment here and I'll share them real quick. But man, October 25th. I'm in Japan October 25th. Actually, 23rd to 25th. Oh man, I thought it'd be like an early October release again, so I booked my flight for late October. Well, that's okay. Let's see here. So, where is my notes? Here we go. So yeah. All right, like I mentioned, enemies can go like, under beds and around objects and on top of like cabinets or whatever. You can reload looking down the sight. When you're idle, the gun moves like in like a kind of like a realistic way. It's not just kind of sitting there. There's like a little bit of like your gun kind of idles with you. And yeah, that's basically it. So I thought that was crazy. The game is incredible. There is stuff that I did do that I can't tell you guys about. There is information that I do know that I want you to be excited about. I can't tell you. There are rumors that you may have heard that may be true in regard to things I can't talk about, but this is going to be the biggest Call of Duty in a long time, and it's going to make a big difference for what we do as a community, for our custom games, and it's make a big difference for like people looking for. Oh, there's one more thing I tell you about, guys. Oh, a big one. One thing they mentioned, I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to tell you, the guys, this is that you can share. That basically the XP or the like XP and stuff you earn in single player is basically earned across the other games. So one thing they didn't want to do is they didn't want to split it up and make like 3 different games. They wanted guns. If you get used to a gun in single player, you should expect it to behave that way in multiplayer. And the same way, if you unlock like an attachment for your gun in single player, you can get XP in single player. It also reflects in multiplayer. So if you play a lot of multiplayer day one and you go into single player, you'll have like, better gear and you'll be leveled up. That'll carry there. And do you play a lot of single player? You're playing it on like, super difficult mode and you bring that and you earn XP there. You can take that progress and you bring it with you into multiplayer. So like it's all connected. So I think that's great. So that they brought that together. So really awesome stuff. If you're asking me whether I saw anything about Battle Royale, I saw nothing on Battle Royale. I saw nothing. I mean, I personally, my theory, my thought is very logical in that they already have Battle Royale coming out in mobile, right? They already have Battle Royale, Black Ops 4. I don't think they're going to have them spend their time on Modern Warfare. I don't think so. And I personally hope they're not working on it either. I can tell you guys, I saw nothing regarding Battle Royale with all the stuff they showed us. Even the stuff I can't tell you. I can tell you that I didn't see any Battle Royale. So that's that. I'm really looking forward to the multiplayer. I'm really looking forward to the story. But I mean, I think the thing I'm looking forward to most is just how crazy the story and what these moments are. They just showed me they showed us like 1 or 2 crazy moments, like of the kids in that town. That was one of them, and being invaded by by this Russian army or whatever. And the other part that was crazy, just like when they were busting into a house and like there's women and children, and like you could shoot them and the mission's just gonna keep on going. Like people might yell at you and you might be like, oh fuck, I killed, and be like, just we gotta keep on going. And then there's this other thing, there's this moment that really tests you that I don't even want to spoil. They'll probably spoil in other videos. But there's a moment at the end of the house mission where you're breaking in to kill these terrorists. There's gonna be a moment where just like you do this gut check and like things can go one of 2 directions really fast. It's nuts. But I'm guessing they're gonna show more multiplayer stuff at E3. So anyway, thanks for hearing me blab about that. If you guys have any other questions that I can answer, I'll try and answer. You can go for it. So ask away. When is E3? The 2nd week of June. And I'm sure they'll have more to show there. I don't know if it'll be playable or not there. Hopefully. I'll be at E3 for a little bit. Does it feel like older new CODs? It felt like Modern Warfare, but just like really like, can you say that it's even more polished? When I say feel, I mean like obviously the stuff only that I'm allowed to tell you about in terms of what I got to see in the new game, but it felt like a mega polished Modern Warfare. Survival mode? I don't know. Zombies? I don't know. I don't think there'd be zombies in a Modern Warfare game. It sounded like there were 3 modes. I didn't say it, but it sounded like there was single player, multiplayer, and this other thing. I don't know what the other thing is. And I don't know. I could be mistaken. Spec Ops? I'd say probably Spec Ops. Rated out of 10? I mean, I don't want to give a rating. It's just like, I think the question is like, does the game excite you? Like, do you believe in the Call of Duty franchise? Do you believe in this game? And if you were to ask me that, my answer would be yes. Yes, I'm very excited for it. In fact, I'm goddamn sad that I won't. I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna have to bring like my PlayStation 4 or Xbox with me on my trip now, so I can play this game. Oh man. Oh man. So anyway. Oh, does it show co-op in the Blizzard store? That could be the Spec Ops mode. There was no clear answer given to us on the single player being co-op. At least maybe, unless I missed it. But I think I would have missed that. How many missions? I don't know. It's supposed to be a big game where with two sides, playing as like the freedom fighters that you see their origins at some point through the game, and playing as these like high tier operators. And I do think Ghost will make an appearance. Maybe it'll be like a late game thing. Maybe they're setting up for the next one. Built on a new engine. I'm not sure about the engine. It felt like a new engine, given how like good it looked and how all the photorealistic stuff they were able to import into the game. I'm not aware of it being on the Nintendo Switch. I think it's safe for me to say the usual culprits: Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, 100%. Guns. Oh man, I'm so bad with guns. You might have to watch another Call of Duty YouTuber for the gun specifics. But there were a lot of guns. They looked like they felt good in a lot of details. My guess is no battle royale. From everything I gathered and everything I'm allowed to tell you, I think it's safe to say don't expect a battle royale here. Shepard Makarov in the game as villain? No, there's some Osama bin Laden looking dude in it. I think he was called like the Wolf or something like that. So that was part of it. Who is Ghost? No. I'm not talking about the game Ghost. I'm talking about the guy. Hang on, I got a photo for you guys. I'm talking about the guy with the skull mask. Oh, Ghost. You know him. Ghost. That's me and Ghost hanging out at Infinity Ward, you know? Hang on. I could maybe show you some other stuff from here's like the room of YouTubers, that one with light or whatever. You guys probably recognize Hova, Driftor, and Chaos Silencer's up in the front. A lot of guys there. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff. But you think Ghost is back? I think so too. Ghost and Roach? Oh yeah. Anyway, I need to brush up. I definitely need to do like a Modern Warfare just trilogy playthrough for fun. Yeah, iteration. Yeah, that's correct. It definitely does it go further than No Russian? I don't know if it does. I don't know. Maybe it does in the game, but No Russian was pretty insane. I don't know. I feel like there's stuff they were holding out on, and it might. I think they're gonna go beyond it. From what they showed us, I don't think so. Any free to play aspect? I don't know. I hope so. I hope that single player is pay, and that you like it's the thing where you can play some multiplayer, and then you can once you go buy single player, you can play that. I think that'd be smart, but we'll see. Oh, can I talk about that part? No, I'm not gonna talk about any multiplayer. Free DLC is confirmed by who? Who confirmed it? Unless it came from Activision, I can't say anything. From what I understand, they are very focused on keeping the community together and not letting people be split up by things. Maps, probably one of those things. I would not. If there is a season pass, it is not going to be a traditional season pass like we see now. Anyway, I don't want to get into trouble. We'll see. I don't know anything about microtransactions. I don't know how they're going to handle that. I can't talk about any multiplayer. Not allowed to. I keep on saying this, but I can't. What time era is it based in? It's based in like now, and it's inspired by world events. They want it to be relatable to kind of what you've seen in the world, like now. Like a lot of the stuff you saw in the original Modern Warfare, may give you like those oh, this stuff could happen now. And like Modern Warfare 3 obviously went crazy, and like Russian invasion. And Modern Warfare is a clean start. It's a clean start. They're not beholden to anything that happened there, but they want to bring back all the characters that you got attached to in the Modern Warfare series. So we'll see. Tokyo, I didn't see. Let me think of single player locales. There's a lot of Middle East stuff. There was stuff in the UK. Beta? I don't know. Anyway, any crossplay stuff you're hearing is from a source that I can't confirm or deny, but I will say, completely unrelated to that, is that I'm tremendously excited to be playing the game with you guys when the game comes out, and I'm glad that for whatever different changes that I can't discuss will be happening. How bloody is the game? They don't go for like the shock factor with gore. They go for the shock factor with like a thing happening. It's not like you're running around everywhere and limbs are flying and like, you know, body parts exploding, that kind of thing. That's not the kind of like shock factor they go for. I can't talk about whether I played anything. So anyway, I think that's I'm not aware of any like multiple endings or whatever. As far as a beta, I don't know, but I mean they've been doing betas recently with past CODs. I wouldn't be surprised against it. Were there puppies? There were puppies in the game. Yes, there were. In the single player, there was. Yes. As far as how much interaction you have with them, I'm not sure. But yes, there were dogs. There were dogs in the story. That, unless I'm being really dumb. So yeah, there were dogs there. Any other questions? Similar attachments? There were a lot of cool. It seemed like a lot of the same. It seemed like they put a lot of focus on the guns and the attachments and doing cool stuff with them. But I wish I was more of a gun person personally, so I could talk to more about that. But I think I'll have to leave that to you know, other YouTubers who could like really point out like easily. Cats. All right, I don't remember seeing many other animals. The thing that stuck with me most, really, out of everything, was again the story, the characters, and like just like the impact. Like I said, there was that one mission where like it was just done so well. The way I was telling it doesn't no justice. I feel like there are gonna be parts of this game where like you just feel it, like Philadelphia, all aboard, you know. Ooh. Anyway. New characters? I mean, there's a bunch of new characters. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of old characters and new characters. But it's gonna be kind of nuts. But is it colorful? It's all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that happens at night. Like I said before, night vision's gonna have a big impact. Like it's not gonna be the entire game, but yeah, you can walk into a room, you could turn on lights, you can shoot out lights, and you can try and use that to your advantage. Campaign missions located in the U.S. I'm trying to think hard. I feel like there was stuff in the U.S., but I don't remember. Anyway, sorry about the confusion with the ghost roach talk. But boots on the ground, yeah, no, it's now. It's all boots on the ground. There's no crazy like technology in this game. Like not that I saw. Co-op campaign, I don't know. There was no confirmation of a co-op campaign. I hope so. It sounds like there's probably going to be some kind of spec ops mode. I feel like there's going to be some kind of like, you know, challenge mode or something. That's my guess. I can't confirm that because it's not a sure thing. And I can't talk about the other multiplayer stuff. But I think I could just say that I was happy with it. If I didn't know anything, I was happy with it. Navy SEAL raid in London. Yeah, no, there's some cool stuff. Sliding or dolphin dives? I don't remember seeing any of that. None of that jumps out at me. Didn't see any jetpacks. No jetpacks. Guns from Modern Warfare 2. I don't know. Again, I wish I was a better gun guy. I'm not the guy to ask for that. But yeah, incredible audio, incredible detail on the guns, incredible like movement of the guns, whether you're standing still or not. The lighting is ridiculous. And like you could like throw a grenade, like, you know, like in an alleyway, and the audio will bounce out of the alleyway and bounce realistically off like the walls of where you are. An echo realistically. It was crazy. Yeah, there were different sites in the game. The red dots were there from what I saw. So we'll see. Crossplay I can't talk about, but I think everyone will be happy with the way the multiplayer stuff is handled, based on whatever I could glean off of it. I don't know about infinite sprint. There is no long stretch during the single player where they ran like forever. My guess is that there is not infinite sprint in story mode. Whether there's some kind of perk or whatever for that in like multiplayer remains to be seen. Last Stand, not too sure. It's modern weapons. There's a lot of modern weapons, and maybe super modern takes on it. There's no crazy guns that I saw. Game engine, I'm not sure, but I believe it looked like they need to do some new stuff. The release date was October 25th. But, all right, cool. I think that wraps it. That wraps it up. So, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at the settings screens. It was the single player stuff. It was a demo that they played for us. How's health revealed? Good question. I should have paid more attention to that. I don't have an answer on that one, but it didn't seem to be like, super like, in your face. Stretch resolution. Oh yeah, let me talk about the field of view. Can I talk about that? No, I don't think so. But I don't know. I was fine with the field of view. How does healing work? I don't. I think the healing was more traditional in that, like, you stay still and you regain your health. I think. Again, I should pay more attention to that. All right, cool. I think I'm gonna wrap that up for the recording. You guys can keep on asking me questions, and I'm really excited for the game. And way to go to Infinity Ward. I think they absolutely killed it. I'm very excited. I was a little concerned after Infinite Warfare, but they brought people back. They brought people back to the studio. And those people only came back because they heard they're coming back to Modern Warfare, and it shows. So great stuff.